Good evening. My name is Chance Bowen, and this is the Paint the Town Red podcast. Tonight's stories, we've got Congress pulling the fire alarm to recess Congress and stop the Democrats from using the Epstein files as political leverage. Tulsi Gabbard and Donald Trump threatened to sic the DOJ on Barack Obama for treason. And the DOJ is suddenly chatting with Ghislaine Maxwell after she said she would testify. Apparently, we've got a standoff in Congress, and surprise, surprise, Democrats are playing offense, using Epstein as a bargaining tool. But here's the spicy part that's got me grinning like Hunter Biden when he's asked about crack cocaine. Republicans like Thomas Massie and Marjorie Taylor Greene are actually trying to expose governmental corruption. Meanwhile, Congress members like AOC, our favorite socialist Instagrammer, just voted against a bill that would stop funding to Israel. What was her excuse? Well, she says the money wasn't technically going to military expenditure. Like, yeah, my OnlyFans subscription isn't technically cheating on my wife either. She isn't a pro-Palestinian person, and the Democrat members that watch my show should know that. You know, they always call us blind cult members for following Trump. And now that Trump has done this, we're exposing him and we're talking up against him. But do you think that they'll talk up against AOC? No, they won't. We know they won't, because they say things like, believe all women. That's a cult. I think all women are a part of a cult. Think about it. Your wife may have voted for Trump and says she's Republican, but she constantly nags at you to stop saying the N-word in public. And now you're sitting around the house helping out with laundry. You're not a base traditional family. You're just playing a base traditional family. Even the whole Republican Party now is taken over by women. Now we can't say gay shouldn't be a part of our party anymore, because guess what the women say? They say, hey, they were born that way. I know a gay person. You can't speak up about abortion either, because they say, well, that's a losing political battle. Who's it a losing political battle to? You? A submissive Karen who actively cares about what people think? Men don't care about what people think. Only women do that. They need to pipe down, let the real right-wing party arise. Look who runs Trump's office. And now you have him on TV saying that he thinks that women should have the right to abortion. Everyone's talking about the Jews this, the Jews that, Jews, Jews, Jews. And I know why, I agree. But what about the women? Don't forget, Eve is the one who ate from the forbidden fruit and then corrupted Adam later on. Then you have women in the Republican online space, and I can't stand them. I can't stand them more than I can't stand liberals. I mean, they're so stupid. And if you're blonde and halfway decent looking, it's like an automatic K follower. So as long as you say you're Republican and support Trump. And then you have people that arise like Emily Wilson saying stupid things on the internet. Then you have her doing an interview with a black gay guy from PragerU. And what did they talk about during this interview? How traditional women are stupid. That sounds like a right-wing party to me. We need to get these people out of our party. That's what we need to do. If we want to win and have a future of any kind, we cannot just be the Democrat Party from 10 years ago. We will always be behind the 8 ball if we do that. So remember this the next time your wife complains at you for using an accent to the gas station clerk, or you go to drive somewhere and she says, you know what, I'll drive. You're not driving. You ain't driving me. And you can sit in the back seat because I don't have time to hear about drama, about what's going on in the office. I'm focused on political victory. I'm not focused on dumb things that I don't care about, you know? So we can't take over and we can't conquer if we're led by women. Women have never conquered anything ever, and they never will. And we have leaders in our party that are 90-year-old women who complain about your tone of voice while you're indoors. We're not going to beat anybody with that type of attitude, and those can't be our leaders of the Republican Party. Moving on, because if I go into this rant any further, I'll never get onto any of the news. So for years, everyone's been talking about Epstein, and everyone who has talked about it has been labeled as a conspiracy theorist. Like, that's a bad thing. But now Congress is frozen. Why? Because people like me and other people that are online that are coming around and seeing the hypocrisy within it are saying, hello, and we're applying pressure. This pressure has led Congress to be frozen. So it's not nothing. It's we're doing our job. This is the right thing to be being done. We're not a part of a cult. First, it was the lab leak theory. Then it was the FBI playing both sides. Now it's half of the government was chilling with Epstein like it was an elitist fantasy football league. And speaking of fantasy, while Congress is on break, Donald Trump and Tulsi Gabbard take to the airways to accuse Barack Obama of treason. Now, usually, if this were to happen a while ago, I'd go, holy cow, this is a bombshell. That's what, if you go on Fox News, it's just this story 10 times, and it's like, bombshell, bombshell. Think about anything besides the Epstein files. But nobody's falling for it. No one even cares. And he's threatening Obama. He's even posting an AI version of Obama getting arrested on his Twitter. You're the president of the United States. You could go arrest him if you want. If you have evidence that he committed treason, why don't you pursue it? But you're not, because you know what you're interested in doing? You're interested in backdoor deals and political bargaining. You're not interested in getting justice for the American people. You're not interested in that. And that saddens me, because you used to be, at least you said you did. But let's not kid ourselves. The whole reason why Trump brought this up and Tulsi Gabbard's bringing this up is the classic bait and switch. And they're so obvious with it. It's not fooling anybody. Nobody cares. Nobody's reporting that. Well, besides Fox News, of course. It's just the same script, different scandal. Oh, and they also tossed us a few MLK assassination files, but they did the same thing like they did with the Epstein files. It's just a bunch of stuff we already knew. It's like, we don't want, you're just re-releasing things. Who is dumb enough to fall for that? Now let's talk about Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's sidekick. So the DOJ is reaching out to her, and no, they're not checking on to make sure she's healthy and doing yoga every day. No, they're checking to make sure that when she speaks up, if she ever gets the chance to, that she's not going to mention any names, especially Republican names. And it's like, if you're a Republican, you're going, oh, that's good. That's a good thing because, we don't want to get ousted. We want the Democrats to get ousted, but we don't want to get ousted. You're a liar. You don't care about truth. You care about political battles and winning political battles. What about America? What about that? What about truth? What about justice? Do you care about any of that? No? Okay. Maybe you're not a Republican in the first place. Maybe you shouldn't be a part of our party. Maybe you're a rat. That's what you are. Ever wonder why she said she was going to talk? She offered to speak and testify, and yet Congress is not pursuing this one bit. Why is that? Why is Congress not calling for her to testify? Could someone maybe be stopping her from talking? I don't know. I think we know. The real conspiracy isn't about the island or the blackmail. We kind of know that. We see the connections. We see the billionaires. We see Epstein went from nothing to something quickly. We see he has connections with the Rothschilds and everybody else. And that's not the conspiracy. That's pretty much fact at this point. We can see it clear as day. What's a conspiracy? Well, sort of, is that our government is actively working to conceal it. That is the big conspiracy here. That is the big deal. Trump, who said he was going to drain the swamp, is not draining the swamp. And if you're a man, you call it out and say it for what it is. But you won't. This is the Paint the Town Red podcast. My name is Chance Bowen. Have a wonderful week.